Habits can make you, but they can also break you. You become what you think about, but you also become what you do consistently.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you for being here to gain something for your life, some advice from somebody who has been through it all and overcome it pretty much. So today we're going to talk about how to create long-lasting habits, right? How to create those habits that you need to create in order to become the person you want to become. I'm actually on the road, but it doesn't matter because the advice and the coaching is still going to be valuable. So it doesn't matter where I go, but I'm going to take you with me. I'm going to make sure I get those videos out every week to you because I want you to continuously have something that you can grasp onto that's going to help you grow and live your best life and live up to the potential that I know you have within you to overcome the obstacles in your life, to overcome the trauma that you've experienced. That's what this show is all about. Not only give you, but show you, what change is, what it's like, what it feels like, what it looks like, and everything that I know. So there's something called an anchor. And an anchor is something that you can use when you're trying to establish a new habit. It's attaching something that you're trying to create into a habit onto an already existing habit. So for example, you get up in the morning, you brush your teeth. You've already attached brushing your teeth to the habit of waking up at a certain time in the morning. So you want to be able to attach new habits that you're trying to create, new things you're trying to do in your routine, attach those to things that you're already doing. So for me, I've attached doing 100 push-ups every morning with reading. So every morning I read. I've been doing it for many, many years. It's a habit of mine. It's my routine. I'm consistent. I've already established that. But months and months and months ago, when I made the commitment to do 100 push-ups every morning to start the day, at first I was going every other day, or I may miss a day here and there. And so what I did was I attached it to the act of reading, which I was already doing. So I would read and do the 100 push-ups. And so I attached that, and eventually those 100 push-ups became a habit as well. And so now, even if I don't read for some reason, I'll still do the 100 push-ups without it because it's already established now as a habit of mine. And so you have to use these tools to help you to develop the habits that you want to develop to be the person you want to become. So maybe every morning after you brush your teeth, you drink a full glass of water. That way you can start the day off right. You can start the day off hydrating yourself. And a lot of people don't do that. They get straight up in the morning, they forget to drink that glass of water, or they go straight for the coffee when they should be hydrating themselves first. So maybe it's after the act of brushing your teeth, you drink that cup of water, or before. But attach that to something that you already do, that you're going to do no matter what, right? Because it's become a habit. And so that's what anchoring is, and that's something that you can start to do so that you can create that habit that's going to turn you into the person you want to become, make you feel better, make you a better person, help you to achieve your best self. So another thing that you can do to establish the habits that'll get you to become the person that you want to become, that'll help you to create the life that you want to create. Another thing that you can do is create a reward system. And so for me, I love to drink coffee. I'm at Starbucks, right? But I don't just drink Starbucks because, I want to drink Starbucks. I feel like that I earned that, right? I earn everything. That's the mindset that I have, that look, I need to earn a Starbucks. And so for me, if I don't do my morning routine, if I don't get those things in the morning that I set out to accomplish each morning, I don't treat myself to a Starbucks, right? I don't reward myself with that. So getting things like that is a reward system for me. And so what you need to do is create a reward system for yourself. Like, what are the things that you like? What are the things that you want to have that you can reward yourself with when you accomplish the bigger tasks? Like, for instance, I heard this story about a guy who would do 100 cold calls, right? That was his goal every single day. And so after 10 cold calls, he would treat himself to his favorite candy. And he would do that repeatedly every day. And so creating a reward system will help you to start getting into the habit of doing things that you need to do that are going to help you to become the person you want to become. So maybe, right, you're a type of person that procrastinates on working out, or you don't stay consistent, you fall off. Well, your favorite dessert, your favorite foods, your favorite things you like to do, maybe it's your favorite show, you don't get that until you accomplish your workout for the day. You have to know that, okay, if I want to watch my favorite show, if I want to eat my piece of candy that I love to eat, I need to first work out. I need to first make those cold calls. I need to first be disciplined in my routine and do what I said I'm going to do. I need to first do my homework. Whatever it is, create a reward system. Reward yourself after you accomplish things. And in time, if you do the same thing over and over again, it just becomes a habit and you won't need to reward yourself anymore with things, right? You're just going to start doing it. So aside from creating the anchor, create that reward system. So in this episode, I'm talking about habits, the importance of establishing them if you want to become the person that you desire to be. But I wanted to give you a perspective of somebody who is successful in business, a successful mom, a successful wife, and in my opinion, has some of the best habits as far as if you want to create something good in your life, in my opinion. So, but in her opinion, she would tell you that she also has habits, but some of them aren't so good. So we'll talk about some of those that aren't so good, which is okay because we all have certain things that we do that some people would say, oh, that's not good for you. Like some people would say, like, I go to the gym too much, right? Oh, you shouldn't work out that much. But you have to know yourself. You have to know what works for you and develop habits that are going to help you to get through the day, to get to where you want to get to. So this is Lacey Moore of More Leaks and the Vape Lounge, two really successful businesses. So here's Lacey.
Hi.
So Lacey, tell us some of your habits that you have right now, some good and some bad.
My good habits would be just my routine for work, the kid, when I get home. My bad habits would be Diet Coke, probably.
Okay, but at least it's Diet Coke. All right, so give me a couple of good habits that you do as a business owner and as a mom. Some good habits, things that you do every day.
I guess just my routine, like getting up at the same time, getting ready, getting the kid up at the same time, getting him ready, being to work at a certain time, even though I don't have to be here at a certain time. It just keeps that routine and keeps me motivated.
And how important is it to have consistency in those habits when you're trying to like build a successful business and a successful family?
I mean, I think when you're building it, it's super important because you got to do the same thing every day to get it going, and you can't really relax for a long time until you're successful, and even then you shouldn't relax too much.
So at your peak, let's say your peak year in either one of your businesses, what were you bringing in, like, let's say monthly?
I don't know about monthly. I could tell you yearly it was probably about $5 million.
$5 million. Okay, so let's go back there. During that phase when you were making the $5 million a year, what were some of the habits that you would implement every day when you were going into your business or running your business?
Every morning we would have our manager do like a meeting with all the staff to kind of keep them all on the same track that we were.
Showing like your staff that they're important, you know?
Yeah, but he was more like, that they were important and just kind of how he wanted them to interact with customers because he was always the best. So he would just remind them every day.
Yeah.
Every morning.
So leadership because obviously that takes like a leader to do that.
Right.
So leadership is a huge part of having a business, right?
For sure. And I think when you first start, having like a really good small knit group, which we did, was super important, and it worked out really well.
What advice would you give to somebody, like a woman out there who wants to be a better leader? How can they become a better leader? Or were you just like a natural leader, or is that something you worked on?
No, I can't even take the credit for that. Like I said, our general manager, I pulled him in to kind of help me with that. So I just think if you need the help, if you can't get it yourself, just find somebody that's, that you maybe look up to or admire. He was a great sales guy and awesome with customers. So I'd have him help me with that every day.
So finding people to kind of like,
circle has to be important.
Yeah, like finding the people in your life that can build on the things that you may not be as strong in and stuff like that, right? Like yeah.
Or it's just different too. He's more outgoing. I'm more quiet, kind of like just let's get this done. Where he'll give you a whole paragraph of why you should do it that way, and I'm just not that kind of person. And I knew that. I needed somebody like him.
Now, is there any bad habits that you might want to talk about that you have besides Diet Coke?
I mean, I've got a lot, but I don't know how many I want to talk about.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe that'll be a different episode. We'll talk about the bad habits, but regardless, like if you have bad habits, it's okay. It doesn't mean you can't overcome that, and it doesn't mean you can't be successful even with some bad habits. But the point is that you have to start to implement good habits every day if you want to get to where you want to get to. So I wanted to bring Lacey to give you that perspective of somebody who can manage businesses, run businesses, and have a family, and she's on the board of Little League and was the coach or something, right? Or she like
no,
the coach?
just a team mom.
So team mom, business owner, wife, all these things. So there's no excuses, but a perfect person that can kind of validate what I'm talking about when it comes to habits and just learning how to be a better leader and the things you needed to do in order to become that. So thanks, Lacey. Is there anything else you want to say?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Positive?
I'm positive.
All right.
I only talk to God when I need a favor, and I only pray when I ain't got a prayer. So who the hell am I to expect a savior? Oh, if I only talk to God when I need a favor, God, I need a favor. I know amazing grace, but I ain't been living them words. Swear I spend more Sundays drunk off my ass than I have in church. Hardcover King James, only been saving dust on the nightstand, and I don't know what to say by the time I fold my hands. I only talk to God when I need a favor, and I only pray when I ain't got a prayer.
We talked about anchoring, connecting a behavior, a habit that you want to start with something that you already do with another habit. We talked about reward systems, rewarding yourself in the process of establishing a habit. Like as you consistently do something that you know you don't really want to do, but it's going to get you to where you want to get, reward yourself along the way. That's going to help you continuously do it and establish that as a habit. And then we spoke to Lacey, who shared some great insights and advice, definitely as a person to look up to as far as like in her ability to create businesses and have a good family and sustain everything. So, but lastly, I wanted to talk about one more thing, and that's having an accountability partner, having somebody to hold you accountable to the things that you set out to accomplish. So, for example, I'll give a shout out to one of my best friends, BRYSON, and I'll put his information in the description as far as where you can locate him. We have visions to collaborate on things to come. He has a YouTube channel, and definitely somebody that holds me accountable. In the morning, one of the first texts I get when I look at my phone is from him, just sending me a message like, so what's on the agenda for today? You know, like just things like that. You don't have to reach out to somebody and just hound them about doing stuff that they told you that they were going to do as far as like their dreams and goals and visions. But I think just a check-in, a daily or every other day check-in, like, hey, how are things going? Or, hey, what you up to today? What's on your agenda? What's on your list of things to do? And just something as simple as that could be somebody holding you accountable. And Bryson just happens to be one of the people who I feel is like an accountability partner for me, because he's constantly up, he's doing his stuff, he's on his mission, and it just reminds me that I need to do the same, because as a good friend, I need to bring 100% into my life every day if I want to be 100% of a good friend to him, but also a potential business partner to him, because eventually we'll probably collaborate on something. So find somebody who can hold you accountable. When you have a goal, when you have a dream, when you have something that you set out to accomplish, or you're just saying, hey, I'm going to start working out again, or hey, I'm going to stop drinking, or hey, I'm going to get focused and I'm going to start a business. Tell somebody you trust about it, and ask that person to hold you accountable to that, to send you a text message every other day, to call you and check on you, to remind you of what you told them. Sometimes we need that. We need that person, and it may be, it could be your wife, it could be somebody that you live with to be that person, or a friend from overseas, whoever it is, find that accountability partner, because eventually you hold yourself accountable like I do. But even when I hold myself accountable, it's still good to have others hold me accountable as well, because sometimes I forget. Sometimes, I'll get caught up in things, and sometimes, I'll lose some focus. I'm human, but to have people like Bryson to be able to hold me accountable to the things that I said I'm going to do, that's important. So finding somebody to hold you accountable, that accountability partner, is another key thing in establishing a habit that can get you to the life that you want to have. And by the way, yes, I am having my afternoon coffee, right? It's about 3:15 right now. And I had a coffee this morning, which I earned, right? That was me rewarding myself for starting off the morning exactly how I told myself I would start it off. I was holding myself accountable, right? So I had that morning, and then my afternoon coffee, right? I feel I earned that because throughout the day, I've accomplished other things on my to-do list, right? I felt good about the way that I talked in the meeting that I had. I felt I gave my all. I feel that I knocked things off of my checklist. And so another reward for me is my afternoon coffee. So I always try to set up rewards, like dinner tonight, right? Like for me, like dinner is not a given. I'm not just gonna, in my mind, like, no, I gotta earn that. Like dinner is something I look forward to because I could sit down and enjoy a good meal. For all the days that I was in prison and I didn't get to do that, right? And dinner was nothing I looked forward to in prison. Now I look forward to it, but for me, it's a reward. I'm treating myself. And so I continuously set up these reward systems throughout the day. I consistently make sure that my friends and the people I love hold me accountable, right? I continue to find ways that I can attach new things that I'm trying to establish onto the old things that are already established. So because I know what I need to do to be able to grow. And that's why I'm sharing it with you, because I know what it takes to establish habits. I know what it takes to establish those habits that can transform your life. And these 3 ways that I explained to you are ways to do that. And so I'm going to enjoy my afternoon coffee, and then I'm going to go on and go right to work. I'm going to go speak at a foster group home next. And after I complete that, I'm going to the gym to work out again, right? And then I'm going to go home and I'm going to enjoy my dinner, and that's going to be my reward. So it's all about how you set yourself up for the day. You can ultimately establish the habits of the person that you want to become. You could do that, but you just have to listen to the people who've been there, that done that. And maybe it's not me, right? But look at the people that you're listening to, right? What have they overcome, right? What challenges have they dealt with? How can they relate to you, right? Listen to those people, because to me, listening to somebody who's never been through nothing is not really valuable to me, because they don't know what it's like to be in the struggle, in the trenches, right? Really going through some depression, really going through some trauma. I want to listen to people who've been through it, overcome it, and are successful. And that's what I'm trying to do to you, is teach you that. So set yourself up for success.